Have you ever wondered what it means when a tree speaks with the voice of God? What if that burning bush wasn't just a physical miracle, but a doorway into a spiritual reality that transcends time and form? Surah An-Naml, verse 8, contains one of the most mystifying and spiritually potent moments in the Quran. This is not merely a historical event, it is a mystical blueprint for the seeker's inner journey. The verse states, "So when he came to it, he was called, 'Blessed is whoever is within the fire and whoever is around it, and glorified is Allah, Lord of the worlds.'" Let us now journey deep into the heart of this verse through the lens of the Sufi tradition and esoteric Islamic thought. We will peel back the layers of metaphor, symbolism, and divine wisdom, supported by the insights of masters like Rumi, Ibn Arabi, Al-Hallaj, and Imam al-Ghazali. The setting of divine encounter. Not a location, but a state of being. In the outer narrative, Musa sees a fire on the mountain and approaches it. But in the mystical reading, this is not just a geographic movement, it is an ascension of the soul toward divine reality. The fire is not mere combustion, but the divine light veiled in the language of material perception. According to Ibn Arabi, this fire represents tajalli, the divine self-disclosure. He writes, "When God reveals himself, it is through a veil, lest the soul be overwhelmed. The fire is the veil, but the voice is the truth." Musa's journey symbolizes every seeker's path, leaving the comfort of the self, nafs, entering the darkness of uncertainty, ghaibi, and approaching the fire of divine knowledge, marifa. It is not an ordinary fire, it is the fire of paradox. A fire that burns but does not destroy, that attracts but does not consume, that calls but does not coerce. This is the same fire Rumi spoke of when he said, "I have seen the flame that no wind can extinguish. It is not outside, it burns in the soul that longs." The call from the fire, the voice of the beloved. When Musa approached, a voice called out. Who called him? From where? Sufis like Ibn Arabi explain, this voice is not just external, it is the voice of Al-Haq, the ultimate reality, calling from within the very fabric of existence. But here's the mystifying truth. The voice is not in the fire alone, it is in the heart, in the silence between thoughts, in the breath of every living thing. It says, "Blessed is the one in the fire, and those around it." Here lies a mystery so deep that even scholars hesitate. Who is in the fire? Is it an angel? Is it the light of God? Or is it, as Ibn Arabi dares to say, a theophany, a manifestation of divine presence, tajalli? And who are those around it? According to Sufi masters, these are not just the angels or the witnesses. These are the hearts prepared to receive, the souls orbiting the divine flame. They are the awliya, friends of God, the lovers, the seekers. The fire speaks only to the one who listens with the ear of the heart. This fire, in Sufi terms, is the same as the hidden treasure, Kanz Makfi, that desired to be known, and so it manifested as all of creation. When Musa heard the voice, he was not just receiving a message. He was being unveiled. His veils were being burned away by the fire. The purification through fire, the inner Mount Sinai. The fire is not a spectacle, it is a furnace of purification. In Sufi poetry, fire is often the metaphor for divine love. And just like gold is purified in fire, so is the soul purified by divine longing. Shams Tabrizi says, "You must burn in the fire of longing. That is the only way to see the friend." Musa, in this verse, is every seeker who finally comes face to face with the inner Sinai, the mountain of awakening. That mountain is you. That fire is your heart. That voice is the echo of your own soul remembering its source. The paradox of fire and peace. Why does the verse use the word blessed for a fire? Fire is usually destructive, but in the Quran, when Allah wants to protect Ibrahim from fire, he commands, "O fire, be cool and safe." This shows us fire is not the enemy. It depends on who is in the fire and how they stand. For the seeker who fears, fire burns. But for the lover who trusts, fire illuminates. Ibn Arabi points out a profound secret. The fire is not divine, but it is the mirror that reflects the divine. To see the truth, you must pass through its flame. The blessing of the fire, not fear, but initiation. The verse doesn't say, beware the fire. It says, blessed is the one in the fire. This is a divine initiation. Just as Musa's prophethood begins with this encounter, so too does every soul's journey begin with a moment of divine contact, a trembling, a spark, an awakening. And from that moment onward, everything changes. The fire doesn't just burn bushes, it burns illusions. It doesn't just speak to prophets, it calls every soul back home. The fire is the divine invitation. Come closer, remove your sandals. Let your feet touch the sacred ground of your own soul. The unveiling of unity, Tawhid. To the mystic, this verse is not about separation, it is about union. The one in the fire and those around it. This is a cosmic circle of unity, Ibn Arabi explains. This moment is the manifestation of the unity of being. The fire, the mountain, the voice, the prophet, they are not separate entities but layers of the same divine reality unfolding. In that moment, Musa is not hearing someone else. He is hearing the deepest part of himself, that which is never apart from the divine. Subhanallah Rabbil Alameen, the transcendence amid immanence. After the declaration of blessing, the verse ends with a reminder. Subhanallah, Lord of the worlds. Why? Because just as God is near, in fire, in tree, and voice, he is also beyond all manifestation. The Sufi constantly balances between these two poles. Tanzi, transcendence. Tashbih, immanence. Al-Hallaj al-Mansur, who famously declared, Ana al-Haq, I am the truth, was martyred for crossing this balance. But his words remain. I saw my Lord with the eye of the heart. I asked, who are you? He said, you. This is not blasphemy, but the height of intimacy, where the drop recognizes the ocean within. Layers of interpretation, from Sharia to Hakika, Sharia, outer law. Musa approaches a real fire, Tariqa, spiritual path. Musa is drawn by spiritual longing, Marifa, gnosis. Musa recognizes the fire as the veil of divine self-disclosure, Hakika, ultimate truth. There is no fire, no tree, only God unveiling himself. This multi-layered reading is essential in Sufism, which teaches that the Quran is a living mirror, reflecting truths according to the seeker's station. Psychological symbolism, the fire as crisis and awakening. In Jungian psychology, fire often represents transformation. The burning bush, then, is also the soul's dark night, the moment of rupture that precedes awakening. When Musa hears the voice, he is alone, vulnerable, and unarmed, just as the seeker must be. The fire becomes a threshold into deeper consciousness, a liminal space between the ego and the real. Modern reflection. Where is the fire today? In our age of materialism and noise, the fire still burns. But within, it is the restlessness in your heart, the yearning for something more, the inexplicable pull toward the divine. As Rumi says, you were born with wings, why prefer to crawl through life? The verse of the burning bush is not a story of the past. It is an invitation to all. Come to the fire. The voice still speaks. Step into the fire of truth. This verse is not just to be read, it is to be lived. The fire is real. The voice is real. But it speaks only to those who approach with sincerity, humility, and love. Ask yourself, are you one of those within the fire or still around it? Let this moment be your turning point. Seek silence and listen. Purify your heart and approach. Let the ego burn so the soul may shine. Share this message. Reflect on this verse. And may your journey to the fire be met with the voice that transforms. And glorified is Allah, Lord of the worlds. If this awakens something in you, don't let it fade. Subscribe for more spiritual insights, share this with fellow seekers, and let us together unveil the divine mysteries. The fire still burns. Will you come?